Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, a Penn State University professor is filing a suit against the university because he essentially said that they have said, the staff, the faculty have said, that the English language is racist. Now, you guys may have heard this before, but I want to say something about this. So, let's get right into this article here. This is showing you the craziness of our society. We have just gone over the deep end, but the article starts off with a former professor is suing Pennsylvania State University for alleged racial discrimination, claiming the school forced him to teach students that the English language embodies white supremacy. ZACK, who previously taught English at Penn State Abington, claims that his direct report endorsed the view that white supremacy exists in the language itself, and therefore that the English language itself is racist, Fox News Digital reported. The accusation is one of many in the extensive suit filed by the Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism, which argues that the PIERO was, individually singled out for ridicule and humiliation because he is white. According to the suit, DePero and other Penn State faculty were encouraged to participate in anti-racist workshops and trainings, including one titled, this one got me, White Teachers Are the Problem. Anyone white watching this, man, this is just crazy. You ought to be able to see what's going on here. But I definitely got something to say about it. The filing also accuses the university of maintaining, quote, a diversity, equity, and inclusive webpage. Of course, critical race theory, a standard practice for most universities and comparable institutions that, quote, decimated racist tirades against white faculty and students, the outlet said. Zach DePero was an English professor at Penn State Abington before he left in a huff over racial equality. Among the so-called racist tirades was the book White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Race by Robin D'Angelo, who is white. The lawsuit claims that DePero believed he was being singled out based on his race. When he complained about the continuing stream of racial insults directed at white faculty in the writing department, the director of the Affirmative Action Office told him that, quote, there is a problem with the white race, that he should attend, quote, anti-racist workshops until you get it, and that he might have mental health issues, the suit alleges. Now, let me read something else here. I wanted to read something else to you guys because this is just, you can see the psychological impact that this is having on professors all over this country and on white people. You can see this. He says, in this case, I'm white. I need to repent for that sin, he continued. He says, I need to keep going to these trainings, keep doing the work. I think they were waging a psychological war campaign and they're trying to break people. And they almost broke me, but they didn't. And I'm trying to find that one particular area where it talks about defendants bigotry manifests itself in low expectations. This is what this accusation that the English language is racist. Okay, defendants bigotry manifests itself in low expectations. They do not expect Black or Hispanic students to achieve the same mastery of academic subject matters as other students, and therefore insist that deficient performances must be excused, the lawsuit says. Second, defendants' bigotry manifests itself in overt discrimination against students and faculty who do not apply consistent standards, especially white faculty. Blah, 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 so to speak. This stuff is crazy. Here's one this one I wanted to do. Watch this. DePero was also offended when an equity administrator, they probably pay these people these idiots, tons of money to do this. Equity administrator, the heck is that? Alana Wong, they always have weird names. Allegedly suggested during a breathing exercise at a meeting that white staff hold their breath longer in order to, quote, feel the pain that George Floyd endured. DePero and other faculty were thus singled out, caused to experience discomfort and feel the pain on the basis of their skin color, the lawsuit alleges. And that's all I'm going to read right there. You guys can read the rest of that on your own time if you so want to endure the pain of subjecting yourself to that mental and psychological tyranny. But this is clearly once again, a Marxist attempt to cause division. It's clear to me that, number one, that these faculty members have been brainwashed themselves. Okay, they have been brainwashed and inundated with Marxist thought from the professors in the schools and universities that they have attended, and they're passing that rhetoric down to others. That's the first thing. But the other thing is that a significant number of these staff members and these academia that Thomas Sowell calls them, the anointed he calls them, a significant number of them are white. I have heard them talk. Now this is what kills me. You have these white professors probably getting 6 figures a year, maybe more, and saying with passion that the white race is evil and racist and inherently messed up. It boggles my mind that someone would hate their own race that much. People get mad at black conservatives for pointing out the deficiencies of the ghetto-minded black people. But then you have white people, white professors, okay, who are supposed to be professors teaching true, science, math, history. And what are they doing? Teaching that white people are inherently racist. I can't help but think, wouldn't you as a white person, i.e. professor, wouldn't you feel kind of funny about demonizing your own people? See, I don't feel funny about exposing or talking about the mindset of the ghetto, of black people in the ghetto. I don't feel funny about that because I'm not demonizing them, belittling them, or putting them down. I'm exposing and talking about the negative pathological lifestyle and mentality they have that's leading to their destruction. In the case of white professors who are sitting up here pushing this rhetoric that white people are inherently racist and need to do stupid stuff like take breathing exercises so you can feel the pain of George Floyd, who was a common criminal, but I ain't gonna go into all of that. I'm not gonna go into the detail of that. To feel his pain? Well, don't you think they should feel the pain of everybody else that was black in the past too, aside from George Floyd? Huh? You might as well go ahead and put everyone else black in there too. You might as well. Make them hold their breath for 10 straight hours. See if they can do that. It kills me that these people that are sitting up here preaching this rhetoric are white themselves. It's amazing. But that's part of it. But the other thing too also is that all this is reverse racism. 2 wrongs do not make a right. Just because blacks or Africans were enslaved in America over 200, 300 something years ago does not mean that you have to whitewash every white person in this country with this idea that they are inherently racist and that you guys need to repent of being white. These people are, this is worse than the way professors thought about black people in the 1920s and 30s, where they felt like blacks were incapable of learning. Okay, you actually had whites that existed back then, back in the 20s and 30s, that actually thought that way. That argument was refuted, though, because it was found out there were tons of brilliant black individuals. Okay, so that argument was refuted. But this Marxist concept that is being initiated and pushed right now, in my opinion, is worse than the way professors in academia thought about black people decades and decades ago. Because you're saying they need to repent, according to this professor's argument in his suit, that they're telling them you need to repent of your sin of being white. Here's white people in white academia telling you you need to repent. Well, don't they need to repent too? And here's what's crazy about this too. Here's a white professor, a part of the elite, the academia, saying that whites are inherently racist, okay? Here's the part that kills me. Here's another part that kills me. And that's this. When the war that these academia, these intelligentsia rather, are trying to initiate among the races in this country. When it takes place, where will these people be? Will they be involved in the race? Will they be involved in it? We need to get this revolution off the ground. Will they be involved? They're going to be hiding somewhere. They're going to be hiding, licking their chops and doing this. Yeah, we got them. We got them. It's a shame that our universities have sunk to this level. And I have to say, honestly, that people in the past, many, many decades ago, in the early 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, talking about history here, man, ignored the infiltration of Marxists and communists in our country. We ignored it. The man MacArthur, the Senator MacArthur, I think his first name was John, but the Senator MacArthur, who created the crusade against communist infiltration in our country, may have took some of his concepts a little bit too far. But what we have found out is that what he was preaching about, so to speak, was absolutely true. Communists and Marxists have infiltrated our institutions and have been trying to destroy us from within and divide us from within. But see, we as the public have ignored it for so long that now it's almost hard to get rid of it. Almost hard, but it's hard to get rid of it and almost impossible to stop. Because a significant number of these people are in the mainstream media and control the mainstream media. That's why I say, screw the mainstream media. I loathe the mainstream media. I mean, like, really, dude, I just cannot stand to see them people open their mouths. Because I know 9 times out of 10, they're lying when compared to other sources of information. This is crazy. This is insane. And I pray and hope that this professor will win his lawsuit against this school. And I hope that professors all over this country, particularly white people all over this country, will wake up and see this. Once again, 2 wrongs do not make a right. It does not make a right. What we need to be doing right now is trying to purge our school systems of this critical race theory nonsense that's actually been going on for quite some time. Been going on for some decades. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and more intense. But I pray that like I said, I pray that this professor wins this lawsuit and exposes this craziness for what it is. You know, this idea of making white people feel guilty. Once again, this goes back to the concept of white guilt, right? You know, you need to feel guilty about what happened back then. You need to stay that way. And I get this quite often on my job. I mean, it's so sad and it breaks my heart. And sometimes it frustrates me. I'm on my back. I'm dressed in my uniform. I'm here to protect you. I'm not here to put you down, put my hands on you, any of that. And I'll be going past, and they'll riding past a white person, and they'll get, you know, oh, I'm so sorry. They become extremely overly apologetic. And I'm saying, you okay? You're not. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not one of these crazy black people that want to strike at you and cuss you out and call you all names and accuse you of something, of racism when there's no racism. Okay? I'm not that kind of guy, but I have to deal with that because of this rhetoric that we see going on in our school systems, in the movies, in the music, and in everything. People are being inundated with this nonsense, and to give you this, to me, the solution to that is cut it off. Just stay with alternative news sources. Maybe you might want to watch some mainstream news sources to see exactly what your enemy is saying. Okay, you need to know what your enemy is saying and doing. But don't fill your mind with all that stuff and then don't watch alternative news sources that are telling you the other side. Don't fill your mind with that junk, that filth, foreign filth, because it's going to poison your mind, make you depressed, and make you want to give up. That's what it's designed to do, and that's what they're trying to do. But there still is an answer. There still is a solution, and it can be done. It can be accomplished. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to bring that out. What do you guys think about this professor's lawsuit? You think he's doing the right thing? Clearly, I think he's doing the right thing myself. And these people, this faculty is a bunch of loonies, leftist loonies that needs to be ousted out of their school system. Okay, so that's what I think about it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.